Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Eli and I run my own small business, Crochet Made by Eli. In this video, I'm going to be market prepping for my second market. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I just had my first market a week ago and I have my second market scheduled 1 week from today, or tomorrow. So today is Friday and my market is next Saturday, so I've got basically 7 days to prep for this market. I do still have a ton of items left from my first one, but I have a couple specific things that I want to make sure I have prepped for this coming up market. So in this week leading up, my plan is to get two main things accomplished. One is getting through this scrap yarn. I have a few mini little scrap yarn balls that I want to turn into plushies, and the second one is to get some Pride items ready. This market is going to be on June 28th. So it's right at the end of Pride month, so I think it'll be good to have some nice Pride related items. My goal is going to be to get a few mini items, a few smaller items for like the main flags, so like lesbian, bi, trans, maybe non-binary, and then we'll see how much time I have left. But I think I would like to get 2 items for each of those main flags. I also have a few tops already made of various other flags. I've got like polysexual, arrow, ace, ace, maybe a couple other ones, but I want to get a few small items of each of the main flags. I have already prepped a few plushies, so let me show you guys what I've got so far. So as you can see, a lot of the things in here are orange. I had 1 scrap yarn skein left of this orange, and it's a very thin yarn, so I actually had a ton of it. So I made this stingray, he's cute. I made 2 mini dinos with these like derpy little faces and mouths. I didn't mean for the mouths to be off center, but I actually really love how it looks. I made 2 octos, and I really like how the eyes turned out, especially this one. I'm really happy with that. I made those. I made a little jellyfish, and this is where I ran out of the orange, so I just made them with white. The little tendrils, I don't know what those are called. I have a frog, but I still need to finish him because his eyes are not attached. And if you've seen my previous videos, this is like the 3rd time I've said I need to finish him and I just haven't. So I might. And I made a squid. I just need to put the eyes on this one. This one's a little bit bigger, but we've got the 2 longer ones and then the shorter ones. I only put 6 of the shorter ones because that's all that fit, but my brother says there's supposed to be 8 short ones and 2 long ones. So if I make another one, we'll see. But that is everything that I've prepped so far. What I'm going to work on tonight is turning all of this scrap yarn into a bunch of little octos. I just think that they are so cute, like it's adorable, and they're super easy to make, they're quick, so I think that'll be fun just to turn all of that scrap yarn, basically each ball into an octo. So let's start with that.
I get it. Hey, Eddie said she got jealous and she made a scene. Like some lowlife leaked that video to Red.
Well, I mean, that's what you should be following up on. I mean, who leaked this?
We have detected. Recently returned to active duty after a short stint in anger management.
Objection, relevance.
Goes to her expert opinion, Your Honor.
Witness may answer.
Must have seemed like a fair AJ Jr. a few years later.
I don't think so either.
Octo number 1 is done, other than the eyes. I'll do those all at the end. I did this one 1 size smaller. This is all the yarn I have left, so I maybe could have had enough to make it bigger, but on it, I don't think that this would have lasted that long. So that's what he looks like compared to this one. Let me put my phone down. So this was the original size. This was doing it 1 row smaller. But because this yarn is thicker, they're very similar in size, so I'm totally fine with pricing these at the same price. Number 2 is done. They look like a little scoop of ice cream. It's so cute. And don't mind my neck pillow. It helps me keep my head up because, I mean, you guys know I'm hypermobile and deal with chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and sometimes my head is just too heavy to hold up. So this helps me keep my head in a little bit of a better position, so I'm not like, you know, I still can lean forward, but it just makes it a little bit easier to support my head. I finished 2 more using purples, and I am working on a third. I used light purple for all of it and then just attached the rest of this to close up the bottom. But I just finished up all of these scrap yarn that I was using as stuffing. So here's a little tip for you guys. If you ever run out of stuffing, you just reach over to your pillow that conveniently has a big hole in it, and there's stuffing. I have this big turtle pillow, and it has a couple holes in it, and I keep meaning to sew it, and then I just haven't, and instead I just use it for stuffing now. Every so often I forget it has a hole in it until I wake up and there's stuffing all over. But it works. I probably used, I don't know, maybe a third of the stuffing in there because I made a big gnome. I made a really big gnome when I was pattern testing for a friend, and I didn't want to use up a bunch of stuffing that I had bought, so I just took it out of this instead. But there we go. So that's going to be 5 little octopus that I made. I just have to close this one up. Alrighty, the last octopus is done. So I've got 5 little octopi plus my original 2, and this one is so soft. I think this one was Sweet Snuggles Light, so if you guys know that one, it's incredibly soft. These ones are all Bernat or like Mainstays blanket yarn. It's a little bit thicker, a little less soft, but they still work. I just love how the little octopus just looks like a little ice cream scoop. And I did the pattern slightly different for these ones than this. Not that there was a pattern, I just freehanded it, but for anyone who's curious on how I did it, I just did magic ring 8, increase to 16, increase to 24, and then I did, I think, 5 rows of 24. Or no, I increased to 32, and then I did 6 rows of 32, and then I decreased back down to 24 to get that little, like, you know, scooch in. I think that looks good. And then in the, it would have been the front loops only, I did 2 slip stitches, and then I did 3 double crochet in one, 2 slip stitches, 3 double crochet. I did that the whole way around, and then I just did some decreases. The first row was decreases on the back loop, and then 2 more rows of decrease to close it up. It's just a basic little octopus, similar to all the ones you guys have probably seen. And then I just adjusted it for the amount of yarn I had for these. They look so weird when they don't have eyes, but I'll do the eyes later. It's cool though. Now I have a little bin of octopuses. So I think I'm done with making plushies for tonight. I'll do the eyes another day, probably tomorrow, maybe. But I want to move on to making some pride stuff tonight. It's 10:20 right now, which I know is late to some people, but I'll be crocheting for at least another 2 hours, maybe more. I usually crochet till like 1 a.m. or something. That's my main schedule. My main sleep schedule is like 3 a.m. to 1 p.m. so it's what works for me. But I grabbed the pride tops that I have in stock, or I have made already, so I thought I'd show you guys. This is the largest size that I've made so far, which I have listed as like a 0 to 1XL, just based on the cup sizes, the length of that band, the band and everything. This is the Arrow Ace one, so I think it's aromantic and asexual, I think is the full words, but there's that one. It's cool, 2 shades of blue, white, and then a yellow and an orange. Next one in the size extra large is polysexual. So we've got the bright pink, bright green, and blue. Then in a size medium, I've got pansexual. This one's one of my favorites. Like, it just feels like clown colors in such a fun way. So the hot pink, yellow, and the same bright blue. And then I've got asexual. Is this asexual? Yeah, this is ace. So black, gray, white, and purple. I definitely need to get one in the non-binary colors. I'll be making another buy one. I actually have one started. I've got this one started. It's the buy colors, but this one is for an order. I'd love to get at least one for the market for sure. But I'm thinking I'll have to turn off my orders for the next week so that I can focus on prepping for the market, because if I do get an order, I pause on my market stuff, I do my order, and a couple days after the market, I'm leaving on vacation, so I don't want to overwork myself. So I think that makes sense. Maybe after this weekend, I will turn off my Etsy until I get back from vacation, probably. I'll figure that out later. But anyway, those are the tops I have made already. The next thing I want to make is something with the lesbian pride colors. So these are the colors I've picked out. It's not the exact colors, but I think it's about as close as I can get with the color options. So we've got this burgundy, like maroon, fuchsia, white, and then this like peachy color and orange. So I think altogether it's pretty clear that this is supposed to be the lesbian pride flag. It's as close as I can get. I will definitely be making a top out of that, but not tonight. Tonight I want to make a couple smaller items. So I'm going to do a bottle holder using my own pattern. I'd love to make a bandana, but these are just too thick for bandanas. They're not flowy enough. So I'll start with the bottle holder, see what time it is, and then figure out what we're going to do next.
Do what you say, Lenny. No, I got a fault. That sex video's drug.
You want me to testify? But last I heard, you want the woman who accused you of hurting her?
She blamed me because she's afraid of Nicholas.
Speculation again, Your Honor. I mean, this is a really bad habit.
So what? See if this guy's hungry? Maybe he wants a soda.
At Kara's house. Her mom was there the whole time. She said they weren't partying.
Though she did say Jenna will kind of...
Sticking to the Jerome story just helps her father.
I think she remembers.
The bottle holder is done. Now I know the colors aren't perfect and it's bugging me, but honest opinions, if you looked at this, could you tell that it's the lesbian pride flag? Let me know, please. Like, I feel like it's obvious, especially because it's going to be displayed with other pride flags, but I just hate that it's not the perfect colors. Like, this one's too dark, this one's also too dark, but I don't have like a lighter shade, this one is too light, and it's too similar to this one, but this one is like, I don't know, it's also not light enough, I think. I don't know, it's not, I think it's fine. It's fine. But this is done. It's like 1 a.m. now. Yeah, it's 1:15, 1:12 to be exact, but I don't feel like stopping crocheting yet. I feel like continuing to crochet for like another, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. Maybe, we'll see. But I'm also in the middle of an episode right now, so I can't stop. I'm watching SVU. But I think I'm going to make another lesbian pride item. I think I'm going to do a bucket hat because bucket hats are cute. It's easy. And they take me like an hour, hour and a half, so I can do most of it tonight and then just finish it up tomorrow. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's like 2 a.m. and this is where I'm at with the hat. It looks so flat right now, but it's like about to start curving. And I've just decided that I'm changing how I want to do this. I was originally going to do 3 rows of each color, and then the edge would go back to the dark and the light. This isn't light, so it'd be like, you know, dark, pink, white, peach, orange, and then the brim of the hat would be these 2. But I don't love how that looks, so far anyway, because it's going to be like this, right? So you don't really even see that, and then it would be like white, peach, orange, and then you would see the end of the flag colors here, or sorry, you'd see the beginning of the flag colors at the bottom. So it would look like the flag is starting at the white. And I don't love that. So I'm gonna go back and try doing like just 1 row of each color 3 times. That'll get us to 15 rows, which is close to the edge of it. I'll figure the specifics out, but I think that's gonna look better. Anyway, I still have a bit left of the episode I'm watching, so I'm just gonna crochet, I think, until the episode ends. And then I will go to bed. Hey guys, it is Sunday. I wasn't able to record it all yesterday because I was babysitting my brothers all day from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. to be exact. So I was busy all day with them. I wasn't able to crochet much, and when I wasn't filming because I was with the boys, of course. So today I am resting and recovering from just being very active with them yesterday. We went to McDonald's Play Place, and then we went to a park, and we were outside for a long time. So resting today, but I do have an order I need to finish by Pride top. It needs to be a little bit bigger because this is going to be for a size like 0 to 1X. This I would like to get shipped out tomorrow, so I'd like to get it finished tonight so I can, tomorrow when I get up, I can package it and ship it out. So I need to finish this, but once it's done, I will come back, check in with you guys, and start working on some more Pride stuff for my market. Hey guys, it is the next day. It is so freaking hot today. I am just gonna be staying in my room. It's like 35 degrees out or something. I think it feels like 40, and it's just hot and sunny, like horrible. And our AC is broken today. For some reason, it just won't turn on. So good thing I do have a fan in my room, plus 2 little handheld ones. So, and I'm in the basement, so at least it's cool in my room, but I will be staying down here for basically as much as I can. Yesterday I didn't end up finishing the top. Here's where I'm at. So both cups are done, connected. I finished the extension on this side with the little holes here to lace it up, and I'm like halfway done the extension on this side. So I just need to finish this one, do the border, and then make the straps. Then this will be done, and then I'm gonna get it packaged and shipped out today. It's not, I don't think it's due to ship out till tomorrow or the day after, but I like to just, you know, ship them out as soon as I can. And I have officially closed down my Etsy. I put it on vacation mode, so it's not visible to anyone. No one can order right now, and I'm gonna keep it off until about the second week of July. So today's June 23rd. I have the market coming up on Saturday, and then within a week after that, we are leaving to go to Colorado to visit my family. Every year we go to Colorado as our family trip, just to visit the rest of our family that lives there. But with having the market, recovering from the market, and then having vacation, I do not want to have any orders because that's going to be stressful. I don't want that. I need lots of time to prep for the market, recover from it, and then prep for vacation. And then I'm going to need to recover from vacation as well. The fun part of being chronically ill is vacation isn't always a vacation, it's just being sick somewhere else. But it's still fun, it'll be great, and I'm gonna do my best to pace myself as much as I can so that I don't have to take too long to recover. But with all that being said, my Etsy is gonna be on vacation mode for about the next 3 weeks. So as soon as this top is done, this will be my last order for the next few weeks. So I'm gonna get this done and then meet you guys back here to continue on my prep for the market. Alrighty guys, it is 7 p.m. and the top is done. Officially done, straps are done, all of the ends are woven in. So I just need to lint roll it, get any little fluffies off it, package it up, drop it off at the post office, and then I will be ready to continue on my market prep. I am definitely glad that I have closed off my orders for now, because this was, I think, the 11th or 12th of this top that I've made, and this one I was really feeling it, like I am bored of this. So especially because this one was bigger with the extra smalls, I only have to do 12 rows for the cup and only 24 for the side extension, whereas this one was 18 rows and then 30 rows, so it's just more work. It just takes longer, and because I'd already done like 10 of these, it was just boring and I just wanted it to be done. But it's done. So I'm just gonna get this packaged up, and then I can actually start on what I want to do.
Well, not at all. Given the change in tenor of this...
Rita, what are you doing here?
I was working out a plea deal when I got a message. Logs that you visited Dr. Yates a half a dozen times in the last few weeks.
Witness, Mr. Varma.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Eric Parker. With all due respect...
The hat is done, and look at how pretty it is. I am really happy with how this turned out. I definitely think it was the right decision to do 1 row of each color. I think it just makes it blend a little bit more. The white does like stick out a lot, and I do wish the colors were closer to the flag, but I can't. This is the closest I could get it. But I'm really happy with this. I don't use a pattern for this, but the way I do it is very similar to the one by Knotting Hook Crochet. So if anyone's looking for a tutorial that already exists, definitely check hers out. At some point I will do a tutorial on mine because I do my increases a bit different and I start with a different number of double crochets than she does. Just because I like having a little bit more of a ruffly brim, and with my tension having, I think she does 12 double crochet to start. For me, that makes it really, really ruffly on top. So I start with 10, and with my tension and hook size, that works perfect. So at some point I will do a tutorial, but not for a while. But this is done. It's not even late yet. It's only 10:30, so I've got a few more hours of crocheting. So I'm gonna get my colors to work on the trans pride flag next. All right, so I picked up my colors for the trans pride flag, and I think this pink and blue work really good with the pastel flag. It's definitely a lot better than the like bright pink and bright blue that I've had to use in the past. So I'm very happy to have some more accurate colors. I'm gonna start off with the bucket hat just to get it done. It's easy to do. I did film a reel for this one, actually 2. I got enough footage to make 2 different reels for this one, so I don't need to do one for this one. So I'm just gonna work on that. I'm expecting it to take about an hour, so we'll see. Actually, I might end up timing myself just for funsies to see. Second hat is done, and I am happy with how it came out. The pink feels a little bit overwhelming because it's every other row, just because of how the flag works up. So I kind of want to make a second one where I double up the blue and just see how that looks, but I think I'll leave that for another day. But it's really cute. I'm happy with how it turned out. Exact same stitches as the other one. So we have the slightly ruffly brim. I'm really happy with it. And it took about an hour and a half, I'd say. It took 2.5 SVU episodes, so that is 100 minutes, so an hour 40, a little bit longer than I thought. But this yarn is very tough to work with for me. I don't love working with cotton in general, and it's very sturdy, and so it kind of hurts my fingers, and I find I can't crochet with it as fast as I would with like a soft acrylic yarn. But even then, still under 2 hours for one piece, I think is really good. So I'm gonna start on the bottle holder now. I'm gonna do similar to the lesbian one I did. I'm gonna start with blue on the base, and for the first 2 rows, then I'll do 2 pink, 2 white, 2 pink, and then I'll finish it off with the blue and then do the handle in blue. Or I guess the strap. I won't be finishing it tonight because it is getting a bit late. It's 12:45, so I'll probably finish this episode, watch one more, go out to smoke, and then I'll be done for the night. So I might finish the base of it. I don't think I'll be starting the strap at all tonight, but we'll see how far I get. All right, I just finished the episode I was watching, and here's where I got on the bottle holder. So I just need to do the blue and pink section and then the strap. It is 1:45 now, so I am gonna finish crocheting for tonight, go have a nice smoke, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, it's the next day, and I finished up the bottle holder earlier today, so it's all done. Since I finished my second trans pride item, I'm gonna move on to the bi flag. So I've got my colors for it: hot pink, bright purple, and bright blue. So I'm gonna start off with my hat and then make a bottle holder as usual. I do have all of these in like a pastel version, and kind of inspired by Passionate Kelsey, I was thinking I could do like a pastel one as well, because I have the light blue and the light pink, and I have a light version of this purple. So I'll still save that to the end, same as the other ones, to see how much time I have. But just an idea, might do that. But I'm gonna get started on the hat now. Hey guys, it is later in the day, it's 9 p.m, but I finished the bisexual bucket hat. Very pretty, very happy with how it turned out. I'm going to take a little break though from crocheting and work on embroidering the eyes on all of these plushies. So I have this squid that I need to put the eyes on, and then 5 little octopi. Then after I finish these, I'll decide if I want to continue crocheting the cotton stuff or if I want to keep working on some plushies, because there is at least one more plushie that I need to do, which was a special request from my little brother. He really wanted me to just make him one, but I told him, like, I'm market prepping, I can't just give you one of the things that I'm selling. But he said, I have $5, I'll buy it from you at the market. So I'm gonna make one just for him and set it aside for him at the market. And I'm gonna make it red. It's gonna be a squid, but a little bit smaller than this one. My goal is maybe like half the size of this, and it needs to have 8 of these tentacles, because he says on real squids they have 8 of these twirly ones and 2 of the long ones, and he likes realism. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all these eyes embroidered up, and then we'll decide what to do next.
Is there anyone cares about you? Is there anyone at that NYPD who cares if you would have or if you died? What's your situation? I don't get it.
The family the heroes are born into. First,
Oh, they crystal like Harry Potter.
Oh, see that picture, right? The nerd defense.
Then I came home after being assaulted in defense of her. I got nice to you Monday. She wrote back, hey, a week later, while Mr. Roberts being interrogated by SVU, she texted me again. I don't know why this is happening. I like you. I hope you're not mad at me. Even years as a detective, sergeant in defense. I mean, ever since communication between no
Yes, it's more common than not. Look, he had on my dress, and then he put his finger in my vagina.
Did you agree with that?
No.
Did you tell him that you didn't agree with that?
Yes. Told him to slow down. I said,
Is it fair to say that you had a crush on Chris Roberts?
I guess.
Were you flattered?
We were in the dark room, kissing.
All 6 plushies now have eyes on them. My little army of octos. So cute. I might end up making more later. We'll see. I feel like half this video is me saying, ooh, I might do this later, and then I'll probably not end up doing it, but that's okay. So, put them back in their little basket. And I'm going to use this yarn to make that squid from my brother that I was talking about. This is a double-stranded yarn, double-stranded thread. The bright red one is the Karen Simply Soft. It's a weight 4, but it's fairly thin, and I feel like it's closer to weight 3. And then we have, also by Karen, is the Cloud Cake. That's this light one. It's really, really fluffy and soft. I don't know if you guys can see all the fibers up there, but it's really soft and smooth, and I love the combination of these 2 yarns together. So I'm gonna use this, not sure what hook size, maybe a 4mm hook. And then I'm going to use the same pattern that I did for the squid, which was just a free pattern I found on Etsy. I will try to put it up here somewhere if I remember. We'll see. That's what I'm going to get started on for now. It is 11 o'clock, so not too late. Probably going to crochet for probably another 2 hours. I'll probably crochet till about 1 a.m. as usual, and then be done for the night. Alright, it is 1:30, but I finished the squid. He's so cute. I got all 8 tentacles and the 2 arms, and as you can see, I did use safety eyes this time instead of embroidering them, because I know that my brother likes having these eyes. I've made a ton of plushies for both of my little brothers, but they both love having these safety eyes in. I went with the black sparkly circle underneath, so you can see black when you're straight forward, but when it turns you can see the white, which I think is fine because squids have really big and just weird eyes, so I think it works. I was considering doing a yellow or green because that would be more realistic, but it just looked really weird like up close, so went with that. I think it's good, and he is so soft, and I think he's a good size. It's basically what I was wanting compared to the original. So same pattern, but this one used I think it's Mainstays blanket yarn, or it might be Bernat, but it's a blanket yarn with a 5mm hook. This one I used, I'm going to say 2 double-stranded weight 3 yarns with a 4mm hook. So very cute. And this one has all 8 tentacles, whereas this one only has 6 because that's what the pattern said to do, and I didn't double check if that was correct. Not like most kids would notice, but my brother will always notice. So it is 1:30, so I'm gonna go smoke, go to sleep, and I will see you guys tomorrow for whatever I work on next. Hey guys, it is the next day. It's a Wednesday and it's already the evening. It's like 9:30-ish. I wasn't crocheting much earlier, so there wasn't really any point for me to film, but I'm sitting down now to finish one of my next projects. So I started working on the bottle holder in the bi-colors, of course, and as you can see, I ended up going with the full look of like the flag instead of doing stripes like the hats. So the flag starts with the big pink section at the top, little purple, big blue. That's what we did. I just need to finish up the strap for it and then it'll be done. So I don't know, 20 more minutes maybe and I'll finish that. And then we could move on to the next flag. And I need to decide which one. Because we've got lesbian, bi, and trans. So the next like option would be probably pan, non-binary, or ace. I don't know which of those are like more common and more popular. I feel like I'll just do pan. I'll do pan next, I think, and then decide about ace or non-binary. I wish I had time to do like every single flag, but it is Wednesday and the market is Saturday morning, so I've got the rest of tonight and I've got tomorrow and Friday. And on Friday I am gonna be packing up the van like the night before, so Friday I need to have everything finished. So I'm thinking I'll spend the rest of tonight and tomorrow just making items, and then I will spend Friday finishing prepping them, like putting the tags on anything that needs a tag, cleaning them all off, making sure there's no, you know, fluffies or dog hair or anything. The good thing is, because I had my first market so recently, everything that I had at that market is still in the bin and still in good condition and ready to go. It's just anything new I've made, which isn't too much. I've got like 5 tops and then all the stuff you've seen in this video. So yeah, that's where we're at for now. I just need to finish off the strap and then we can move on to the pan flag colors. All right, the water bottle holder is done, looking very pretty. So I've grabbed my colors to work on the pan items next. So we've got the same hot pink, the bright yellow, and the bright blue. Very pretty. I am going to start with the hat first and then work on the bottle holder next. It's 10:20, so I've got another probably 3 hours of crocheting tonight, so that might be enough to get both items done. We'll see. I think I'm going to do a little time lapse though. And yeah, we'll see how much I get done tonight. Hey guys, it's the next day, it's Thursday. I did not end up starting on the bottle holder last night because I didn't finish the hat. I was crocheting for like 3 hours, but very on and off, and I was very distracted, so I did not get as much done as I normally would. But I'm about halfway through the hat, so I'll finish this up in less than an hour and then get on working on the bottle holder. It is Thursday, so I've got today and tomorrow left to prep for the market on Saturday morning. For the pride flag items, I'm gonna finish off with this hat and bottle holder, and then I'm gonna go through and prep all of the items, clean them, tag them, and make sure they're in the bin and ready to go. And then as a final thing, I remembered that I wanted to make some Pokemon items. Totally different than the pride items and the plushies I had originally planned, but I did see at the last market a few kids walking around with Pokemon stuff, and I remembered that I really like that I think it'd be really fun to have some Pokemon items. So I was thinking I would make a set of coasters that look like a Pokeball, and then I would make a couple plushie Pokeballs. I don't have any red plushie yarn, but I do have red acrylic yarn, so I can just make some smaller ones, which is totally fine. And I don't think they would each take that long because I'm planning to make them small. So that's the plan, game plan for the next 2 days. Finish the pan, hat, and bottle holder, make some Pokemon coasters, some Pokeballs, and then clean and tag everything. So yeah, let's finish up this hat real quick though.
Items and stuff down. Also, my 19th birthday was very recently, and one of my friends, best friends, who I absolutely love and adore, gifted me a mini claw machine. So I want to make some mini plushies to go inside here. Like, look at this! Oh my god, my plushies aren't getting away for kids, so I will put a sign up here saying like, not for 3 and under, but I know that I'm 19 and I haven't had time to work now. So I'm so sorry if this wasn't a satisfying haul, because I feel like it's not satisfying and it doesn't do justice to how freaking cool this is. I'm so
Alright, the hat is done, looking very good. I did end up adding one more row to the body of it. It's a very small difference, but I do think it looks or fits a little bit better. The other ones still fit fine, but I was just debating if they're slightly short. They are stretchy, but I think having the one more row is good. So I do a total of 14 rows before I start the increases, and then the increase is a total of 3 rows with single crochet on the edge. I just love the ruffle that I get from this because it goes out a good amount like a nice bucket hat, but we have this cute ruffle. So I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna start on the bottle holder now. It is 7:20. Yeah, it's 7:23, and I haven't fully tested how long these bottle holders take, so I think I'm gonna check in at every part of it just to see how long it takes and try to do it all in like one sitting. I will have to take a break for dinner at some point, but we'll figure that out whenever I'm hungry. All right, it is 7:40 now. I realized as soon as I finished recording that I was hungry, so I went and had a snack. So I'm gonna start on the thing now. The flag is pink at the top, yellow in the middle, blue at the bottom. So I'm gonna start with blue for the base. So starting time is 7:42. 7:51, and the base is done. Super quick because it's just 6 rows of single crochet. It's 8:03 and my 3 rows of blue are done, so I'm gonna move on to the pink section now. 8:18 and the yellow section is done. I accidentally said pink in the last clip, but it's yellow next. Now I'm gonna add on the pink section, and then the strap will be done in pink as well. It is 8:30 and the pink section is done, so all I need to do now is the strap. This is how much yarn I have left in the cake that I was working from, or the skein, and I don't know if it'll be enough. I feel like it might be, but we'll see. If not, I have more. It's fun to be able to use all of the same one and not have to open a new one for like a very tiny bit of a project. It is 8:50 and the bottle holder is done. The strap is done, all of the ends have been woven in, so it took just over an hour, I guess an hour and 10 minutes really, and that is the fastest I have ever made one. But that's really cool to see that if I just sit down and work on it, I can get it done in about an hour. And I feel like, well, if I did one that's all one color, or I didn't have to like reattach new colors, I could definitely get it done in an hour. So that's good. I think I priced these ones at about $15, so for the time it takes, I think that's pretty reasonable. These hats, I believe, are 20. I think these are 20 or 25, probably 20, because they take about 2 hours. I think that's pretty reasonable for how I'm pricing my stuff at the moment anyway. So that's cool. I've officially finished 2 items for the 4 like really popular pride flags, I guess. Not popular, but you guys know what I mean. So I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm gonna work on making some Pokeball coasters.
It's over. Running away doesn't make it over. There are still charges against you.
They're lies.
Yeah, you. A bit more serious than that, Matt. Alvin's dead. Somebody gunned him down. Wait. Something had happened against your will, we wouldn't have gone with it.
So you're saying it was consensual?
Well, Melanie has been trying to connect with Brian for weeks. You know, maybe having the audience find out that she'd lost her virginity.
Right, it is 12:30, but I finished up the Pokeball coasters. I made 4 of them. So it's just white and red, just like the normal Pokeball. That's what it looks like on the back. I did do some carrying of the yarn just to minimize the amount of ends I had to weave in. So it looks messy on the back, but you'll never see the back because you're only seeing the top because it's a coaster. Weaving in the ends did take a long time, very long time. So I probably wouldn't make these again unless I got like a custom order or something for them, but it's not bad. It's not a bad thing to have available on my table. And if I really wanted to spend the time, I'm sure I could again. I just have to figure out pricing because it took maybe 2 hours to make all 4 of these, which is longer than it would normally take for coasters. But regardless, they are done. I am going to log off for tonight and see you guys tomorrow for the final day of prep before my market. Hey guys, it is Friday afternoon. Tomorrow is the market, so today is my last day to finish prepping and crocheting any last thing that I want to bring to the market. So I've got my big stack of clothing and cotton things that all need to have price tags put on them. And then I've got my 2 baskets of plushies. These ones are both gonna have a little tag on the front that says like $5 per plushie. This one is gonna be my $8 bin. That's what I've decided on. So what I've gotten it at the moment is my stingray, this frog, and this little mushroom dude. I do have a few more items that I'm bringing that I think would fit in this bin or make sense for this bin, and I might just end up adding them as the day goes on, depending on what sells. We'll figure it out. I also have this little container, which I'm gonna put my business cards in one spot of it, and then I'm gonna put stickers in the other two. So I'll grab some of the stickers I have. I'm gonna need to sort through them and pick out just the child-friendly ones. I might not use any from this one because this one is mostly stoner type stuff and like psychedelic things, but there are some cute mushrooms in it. And then this one is a whole bunch of plants and little things. And then this one has a mix of these little bottles and then little cat tarot cards. So that's gonna be fun. I just think that'll be a fun little thing to have at my booth. You can grab a sticker regardless of if you buy something or not. So that's the plan for today. Tagging up my items, lint rolling all of them, making labels for the baskets, picking out stickers for the container. Then we'll see what time it is and see if I am able to make anything else for tomorrow. I'm not gonna record much of this process because it's just boring. I'm just writing tags, but I will show you guys, I'll probably show you guys at the end what my market setup looks like. There will be a full second video going over everything about the market, the actual day of and how it goes, but I do feel like I still want to include in this one a little clip of at least how my setup looks. So that is the plan for today. Alright guys, I have finished cleaning up and tagging all of my items. My lint roller is on the very last one and I was able to clean the very last shirt when I got to this one and it's not sticky at all anymore, so need to buy a new one. And then I decided to go through and put tags on my favorite hats. So not the price tags, but these tags. So it says Made by Eli and it has a heart because eventually when I do make a logo for myself, I'm gonna have a heart as part of it. So I had these custom made from Birch and Cider on Etsy and I got like 10 of them. So I just went through and put them on all of my favorite bucket hats. So it's all basically the same granny stitch bucket hat. So I've got all the Pride ones, this pink one, this green one, and then I put one on my Jake the dog hat and one on my flower hat. So it's just an extra little detail that I feel like makes it look a little more professional. I didn't have enough to put them on all the hats and I didn't want to waste them on items that might not sell, but these are definitely my favorite hats, so I thought it made sense to put it on these ones. So my bin is full. I just did a little bit of reorganizing just so that it's a little easier tomorrow when I set up. All of the same things are in the same area. So I'm gonna be putting the tablecloths and stuff on top last, so that way when I open it I can take out the cloths first, then I have my hats and my plushies that go on the table, and then everything, basically the bottom half of the bin is my clothing, which will go on my clothing rack. So this should make it just a little easier for setup tomorrow. I also picked out my stickers, so I didn't put the business cards in yet because they do have their own little box and they're slightly too big to fit in here flat. But this middle one is all of the different plants, and then this one is all of the little bottles. I decided not to put the tarot cards in there just because they can be a little controversial for some people, and it's not like it's a big deal, but my booth is quite child friendly, so I'd rather have the safer option. And plus these ones are so cute. Like, there's some really adorable ones in there. I want to show an example. The one I picked up was a skull, but I want to show one of the cute examples. Like this one, little cats. Another one with cats, dinosaur. So I just think that'll be so cute and they fit in there perfect. And the lid doesn't mess up any of the stickers, so that's perfect. When it's on my table, I'll have my cards in there, and I'll have it right at the front of my table, so that way when people see it, they can easily grab one. I might make a label like free stickers for everyone. I don't know, I'll figure that out. But that goes in my bin. I do have my signs from the last market. I didn't need to change anything on it, but I made 3 signs. So shop my patterns on Etsy with a QR code that brings you directly to my Etsy profile. And I also have the information there. I've got a find me on social media one, so all of my social media plus a little blurb about custom orders and my business email, so that way what it says is, see something you like but want in a different size, color, design, send me an email, we can set up a custom order. So hopefully if someone sees something but they want like their own version of it, they can just send me an email and set up a custom order. And I did have 2 people at my last market who took down this information. I have no idea if they'll reach out, but the information's out there. And the last one I have is just payment options. We've got cash, card, tap, Apple Pay, and e-transfer as like a last resort. This sign, no one really like looked at it, so I'm gonna put it in a better position this time, but I just thought it's an easy thing to say you don't have to have cash, because I know that can be a problem at some markets. If you only take cash, you can definitely lose orders. I've got all my paper bags as well, just like a handful of each size. We've got 3 sizes here, so I did use a few of those at the last market, and with this one being busier, maybe I'll need to use more. But these are great. I just put a little business card and a care card inside of it, and then they can just carry around their items. I did see a few people suggest having like a clear bag so that people can see what's in it, or having bags with logos on it, so that might be something I consider for my next market when I have more time to prep. And for anyone who's interested, this is what my care cards look like. So I have a 10% off code for if you want to shop on Etsy, and then the back has care instructions for clothing and plushies. And then I've got my business cards in here. So the front just has all my information with the little logos, and then the back is just a cute, simple thing. So I like them, and if you can't tell, I did use Canva for these. I've been using Canva for so much of my stuff, like creating my patterns, thumbnails for YouTube. Like honestly, I use it for so much. This was my first time buying anything to have in person, and it was really good quality, shipped super fast, and I think a pretty affordable price. The thickness of these business cards is perfect. The thank you cards are a little bit thinner than I expected, so whenever I do get new ones, I think I'll select the slightly thicker option. But it's great, and they've got little boxes to keep them in. It's perfect. I love it. Now the very last thing I need to do is the eyes for this frog. I made this in January maybe, and I still haven't attached the eyes. It literally is going to take me like 5 minutes, but I just have been procrastinating, so I'm gonna do that now. All right, it is done. Finally, the eyes are securely attached. They are not coming out. What I ended up doing was melting down the backs using a lighter, and then like I used the lighter to squish the backs down so that they were shorter and would actually fit in there. And then I hot glued them in. I don't know if that was the best option, but it's what made sense to me. This one obviously is not for a little kid because there is always the chance of the eyes coming loose. Obviously that's not the goal, but you know, that's not for a kid. So that one is done, finally. Only took me 6 months to attach the eyes. So last night I had a fun little last minute idea of something to make for the market, and I probably should have thought of this sooner, but I was looking at the post by Joelle Crafts. If you guys know her, she is a crocheter who kind of blew up for her crochet stress ball toys. So the most common ones were just like a circle stress ball crocheted around it, so it's just like a soft, fluffy, squeezy stress ball. And then she made a series of like little troll, goblin, animal things. They're adorable. But last night I was like, oh, I kind of want to do that. I just feel like they'd sell so well at the market. So last night I ordered a bunch of stress balls, and they're supposed to be here tonight by 10 p.m. It's 6 o'clock right now. It says they're only 4 stops away. Might be here sooner. but let me show you the yarn I'm gonna use for them. I'm gonna try to use this pink fluffy yarn because I just feel like that will be the cutest thing ever, and like so soft and squishy and fluffy. I got this yarn a while ago with the original goal of making a bunny with it, and then I tried and hated it, and it's just sat on my shelf for months. So I think if this works how I'm planning it to, it'll be so cute. So whenever the stress balls get here, I'm gonna make a couple tonight, just test out, see if they actually work well, and then depending on the time, I was thinking I could just bring the supplies to the market and make the rest there because they won't take long. So we'll see what time they get here tonight. Yeah. So now that everything is done, I can continue making some little last minute things. I think I want to make some Pokeballs because that's what I was talking about yesterday, and you can see on the shelf up there I have lots of red and there's some black over here and white. So I definitely have the supplies, so I think I might as well just work on that for now. Guys, look what just came in. My stress balls. They are little, which I knew they were going to be. I didn't get the same ones that Joella does in like the actual pattern. She gets more of like the squishy ones where it can like squeeze out. But I thought these would work. They're like the foam ones, because I'm not planning on making any holes in it like she does, where you can have like a mouth or like have it farting or something. So we're gonna try this. I bought the pattern from her, only $3. So we're gonna see if this works. I hope it does, but this is different materials than she typically uses, so we'll see. Alright, I finished off my first one, and it's just a fluffy little pom-pom, exactly what I wanted. I ended up putting it inside out because the fluff just looked a little bit better. The spot where I closed it, I guess, is up here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera at all, but most of it is nice and short fluff, and then there's just the spot where I closed it where it's a little bit less, but I don't know if you'll see that at all. So I mean, it works. It's nice and squeezy. I'm gonna play with them a bunch and make sure that no ends come out or anything. I am going to try double stranding it with this thin pink yarn because that might make it a little bit easier just to kind of start and close it, because I do want to make sure all my ends are woven in enough that they're not gonna come out, of course. So I'm gonna try that. Obviously you won't be able to see the pink through it because it's pink, but I will try that and see. The pattern is super easy. I would have been able to do it without the pattern, but because I'm using her design, of course I wanted to support the artist, and it was only $3. But it's super simple, so that's one of 24. I'm gonna give it another try with this and see which one I like better. Alright, I finished my second one. This was with double stranding, and it doesn't really make a difference on the final product, but I did notice a slight difference while making it. It just makes the stitches ever so slightly visible, from being completely invisible to just slightly. So I've got two, and obviously they do not take long to make, but now that I have two, I'm gonna give them to my little brothers to kind of like safety test. I'm gonna ask them to be really rough with them and see if any ends start poking out, if like the yarn actually holds up, or see if the stress balls break really easily. But I think it's fun. It's just a furry little pom-pom. It's kind of like a puffle from Club Penguin, if you remember. But yeah, I'm gonna give these to my brothers now to test. Alright guys, it's been a couple hours. I made a couple more of the fluffy pom-pom ones, and then I made a few with just some regular chenille yarn. I'm just using up my scraps to make kind of like a few of every color, have some variety. I'm gonna make maybe 10 total and bring those, and then I'll bring the rest of the supplies, and if I end up selling them throughout the day, I'll just make some more because they take max 10 minutes to make one. I was also thinking I might make some more little fidget toys, maybe not for this market, but just an idea for markets in the future. It is about 10 p.m. and I need to wake up super early tomorrow. I have to be up at 7:30, and if you guys know me, you know that I really struggle to be awake before noon, and it takes me a while to wake up. So I'm starting my bedtime routine earlier to hopefully have a good sleep and make it a little bit easier to wake up earlier and have a good market day tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in seeing how the market actually goes, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you guys can see all the updates, and you can hit the little notification button and get a notification every time I post a new video if you're interested. I'd love to hear from you guys. What item is your favorite that I made through this video? I know I made a ton, but let me know what you think of them. What do you think of my little stress balls, my last minute ideas? I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys again for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you next week. Bye!